Gordon Ramsay, incredible guy, right? So I'm going to cover his profiteroles. We're going to start off with that. As an ex-pastry chef, I think I got a little bit of insight, and now maybe we can improve the technique. Let's get on going.
Profiteroles, throwback to the 80s, something that we've all forgotten about, how to make the perfect choux pastry. First and foremost important, turn the oven on. 125 mils of milk, 200 mils of water into the pan. It's important that we bring it to the boil slowly. Butter.
Okay, so we're going to start. I know we just started it in, but one of the things to consider with profiteroles, the reason why we have water or milk is a half and half. It has to do with the browning of the chew and the crispiness of it, right? So that's normally we see a 1-to-1. You can do it. You can honestly do it with straight water if you wanted to, but the milk adds some stuff into it. So I promise I won't be stopping us quite so often.
Caster sugar. Salt. It stops it from becoming oversweet and gives a really nice sort of rustic flavour to it. Off the heat, 150 grams of plain flour. Vigorously fold that flour in, back onto the heat. Like that, look, beautiful. Just hanging off the spoon. Cool. Eggs. It's really important you put the eggs in one at a time. Therefore, you get this really nice incorporation of the white and the yolk. Look, beautiful. Piping bag, one nice lump. And look, just coming through, there she is there. Greaseproof paper, stop them from sticking to the tray. Down, push.
Oh my God, Gordon! Don't. Oh, this hurts. This hurts. Okay. Ooh, so we're not gonna pipe our profiteroles like this, okay? Please don't do this. It makes Crouton sad. You heard Crouton get a reaction. Okay, please don't. All right. Does this show up? So, yes, it does show up perfect. So, if you see how he's piping his profiteroles, there's a couple things I want to point out, right? The first thing is his piping tip is at an angle, right? And you can see what that's doing is it's front loading all of that batter right there. And you have less batter right there. This is going to lead to an uneven puff because it's crooked, right? We're going to push everything here and it's going to be thinner right here. This leads to uneven baking. Like, listen, if you pipe it crooked, it's still going to taste delicious. Okay? It's fine. You're going to see this turns out fine. But if you want those beautiful, right? Those beautiful little balls, like those little cabbagey Brussels sprout looking things, you need to have your piping tip completely perpendicular with the counter, right? I wanted to see it straight up and down. Now, his piping isn't that bad, but you can see too, right? Do you see where these lines are? There are lines there because he's not applying pressure evenly. This is going to go ahead and then it's going to lead into like little divots and like little signs and things all over it. And what we need to do is straight up and down, even pressure, keeping it good. Okay.
Perfect. Now, finger into a bowl of water and just
That's fine.
push down those little pointed parts.
If you pipe it correctly, you don't have to do that, but it's fine.
Burning. Into the oven. 18 to 20 minutes. Chocolate sauce. We use between sort of
He
60
is
and
making little
70%
poopies.
pure Carrie.
That's what
The
he's
better
doing.
the
He's making
chocolate,
poop.
The better the sauce. Simple as that. And the secret now is to melt this chocolate over a pan of simmering water. That will melt within 3 to 4 minutes. Butter, honey. Just look now. That's beautiful. Smooth.
Butter and honey.
And just this wonderful texture there.
Okay, so you don't need. So what he's probably going to do is he's probably going to dip these in there. And so the reason you add it in the butter is it's going to soften the mouthfeel. So instead of having that really nice hard crusty outside on that chocolate where it gets that nice snap, when you add more like butter into it, it's going to soften it at room temperature, which is a nicer mouthfeel if we're trying to bite through something. And then the honey is going to add a little bit of shine to it, right? So what he's essentially done is he's set himself up so that he doesn't have to worry about like tempering or handling the chocolate correctly, right? So when you see things included like corn syrup, you can add honey in there instead. Part of it is a stabilizer, but also part of it is to help that final shine.
Take it off the heat. And that now is perfect. Milk. Out. Creme chantilly, basically a really nice flavoured cream. Icy sugar.
It's just whipped cream. Creme chantilly is whipped cream.
And then mix it.
Specifically vanilla whipped cream, but
nice. Piping bag. Push in. Profiterole generously.
okay. Do you see how this is like I know I call them little poopies, but I know you call them little poopies. They're not it just kills me on the inside. He could have just put a little bit of effort, a little bit more effort into this. So, what you're seeing, you can see those lines and those divots. It does give it a more rustic feel if you want something more rustic or something that kind of connects a little bit more that's not quite as doesn't have an elevated feel to it, but still gives that fancy flair. It's fine. Really, because like there's nothing about that looking at that that is unappetizing, right? It's okay. But he could have done it a little bit better.
So you fill up, so you see the cream bouncing back at you, and just stick them together.
Okay. The second thing I'm seeing, right? Do you see how uneven these are? So there's several things going on, right? So we've got the lines. You see where it cracked right there? Steam is going to come out at the weakest point of a pastry or a piece of bread. Because he didn't pipe them evenly, he made seams, and the seams create areas where I need to figure out how to make my VTuber not bounce around so much. Okay, so the steam, right? Those creases create areas where the steam can escape, and so you can see how they don't puff up evenly. Right? So first off, they're not evenly puffed because they have the seams in them, right? When he was doing that. The second thing that I'm seeing, right, on top of the seams, especially with like some of the ones right here or some of them right here, do you see how they're leaning? They kind of lean in some way. It's because he didn't pipe up and down. Also, I want to point out, I'd eat that. You'd probably eat that. No, who wouldn't eat that? You know, so I'm holding him I would never judge a home cook to the standard because that would be ridiculous, right? And you actually see this a lot with Gordon Ramsay when he's teaching or talking to others, depending on someone's skill level and what they should know or what they should present is going to kind of depend on how intensely I'm going to critique them, right? I would never critique a home cook like this. But Chef Ramsay, my guy, he's trying to show us the right way to do this, and he could have done better than that.
Together. Lovely. Icing sugar. Chocolate sauce into a jug. Profiteroles with chocolate sauce and chantilly cream. Done.
And, like, they're fine, right? Let me back up. The other thing that I really, really like with these, that you can do with these, because everybody makes these, right, where they're sweet, right? Sweet profiteroles. Let's go ahead. We're gonna put ice cream in there. I don't know, whipped cream, like different things like that. Dude, have you ever put like sloppy Joe mix into profiteroles? Like, that's so good. This is just a shell. Think of this as like bread, right? So we're looking at these. They're great. They're delicious. They're sweet. Whatever. Okay, cool. Cool beats, right? But what if, right? Instead of just doing it with the straight plain, why not fold in chives and cheddar into it, right? And I think they're called gougères. I can't remember the actual French term for it, but there's a dish where you fold in the cheese and it makes they're beautiful. But why not cheddar and chives, right? And then let's say if you're in the South like I am, maybe if you want to do some brisket, right? Let's stuff these bad boys with some brisket. Cheddar and chive profiteroles stuffed with brisket, right? A little bit of barbecue sauce or something on there. You know, there's things that we can play with it. So that are his profiteroles. They make me sad. Not because they're not good, but he could have done better. It's like, come on, my dude. Alright. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. And hey, it is YouTube after all, so if you liked the video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Hey, leave the word strawberry if you made it all the way through the end. Just know that you're here. And I appreciate y'all. Catch you around.